Hello and welcome back to another D2 Crucible video. I'm Kelson and today we're looking at the build Extra Surplus. If you're like me, you look back fondly on the days when Beloved was the king of all snipers. Back before Quick Draw was nerfed, it provided weapons with 100 handling, which was a massive stat bump to that particular weapon. Well, as you might have guessed from the name of the build, Extra Surplus, we are going to be using Surplus to reach those same levels of snappiness and effectiveness and dynamic gameplay. For those of you that don't know, Surplus provides weapons with additional reload, stability, and handling, but the catch is that it only procs when the character has charged abilities. So if you have 3 charged abilities, it provides an additional 50 reload, 25 stability, and 50 handling on the character. The goal of this build is to keep Surplus procced as often, as frequently as possible, and this is going to provide those gigantic stat boosts which are going to allow us to match the same snappiness that Beloved had way back in the day. Let's dive right in and take a look at all the different parts that make this build tick. So let's start with the weapons, probably the most important part of this build. As you can see, I have a sidearm and a sniper equipped. I guess I'll just say it now. The heavy slot doesn't really matter. I just use half-trues because it's super badass. But the exotic sidearm you want to use is Traveler's Chosen, and there's a couple reasons for that. It's a great sidearm. It's an adaptive sidearm. It has a 0.6 time to kill with 4 headshots. And while the 4 headshot time to kill is a little difficult to get, it really isn't that hard and happens pretty frequently. So the main reason you want to use Traveler's Chosen is that it has the perk Gathering Light, which, when getting kills with it, grants you stacks of Gathering Light. So when you have stacks of Gathering Light, just for reference, when you kill a Guardian you get 2 stacks of Gathering Light, it increases the weapon's target acquisition, its reload speed, and its handling. It's already an amazingly great perk, it's an amazingly great weapon, but on top of that, you can actually hold X and your character will consume stacks of Gathering Light, and that will feed you ability energy. So that will go directly into your melee, your class ability, and your grenade. And I think you can see where I'm going with this. That is how you get Surplus procced on your other weapons like your sniper, and then it just so happens that Traveler's Chosen with the Catalyst also has Surplus. So Traveler's Chosen already, as you can see, has great stats. It has really high stability, really high handling. With just 2 stacks of Surplus, that maxes out Traveler's Chosen's handling, which is unbelievable. It is extremely fast. When you body someone with a sniper and you swap to Traveler's Chosen, it is in less than the blink of an eye. So it's the perfect pairing for this sniper here, which is Frozen Orbit. My Frozen Orbit, I had a really lucky time getting this particular one. It has Snapshot Sights, Surplus, Flared Magwell, Fluted Barrel, and a Handling Masterwork. The only thing I would have changed on this is the Flared Magwell for accurized rounds, but you really can't complain when you get a 4 out of 5 on one of these types of weapons with the massive perk pools, because it is just so difficult to get the roll that you want. And before I continue, I guess there is one other sniper that you could use in this slot, and that is the Albruna D. It is also an aggressive sniper, and it can also roll Snapshot Sights and Surplus. So if you are one of the few Gambit players out there that just loves Gambit and plays it all the time, then you're in luck if you got one of those rolls, because that would be the only other sniper I think I would use for this role. But back to Frozen Orbit, the reason that Surplus is so amazing on this particular sniper is because it's an aggressive sniper, so it's already doing a lot of extra damage. You can one-shot, headshot any super in the game without Vorpal as a perk, which is great. But as you can see with mine, you have a handling of 45. When Surplus is procced with 3 charged abilities, that increases the handling up by 50, which puts it at 95, and that makes the sniper extremely snappy and extremely responsive. It really matches the old Beloved days. I mean, it is just a super quick sniper. You can do quick shots. You can swap and reload extremely quick, because not only is your handling at 100, but your reload speed is also at 95, so you have extremely fast reload, which is just as important almost in this sandbox, because the scavenger perks only allow you to pick up one bullet at a time, so every time that you pick up a round you have to reload. It is just an amazing sniper. The aim assist could be better, it's at 53, but once you get your hands on this particular role, you're gonna see why it is just so impressive, and that is the high handling speed and just how it feels in your hands. As far as the class goes, I decided to go with the Stasis Hunter. Really the main reason I went with that is because it automatically comes with 2 melee charges with the Stasis Shurikens. This feeds right back into the surplus. If you have more charges, then that's what keeps surplus active more often. So let's say I have those 2 Stasis Shurikens and I decide to use a dodge, but I have my grenade, then I still have 3 stacks of surplus, so still giving my weapons all those added benefits. As far as the stasis fragments that I went with, I did Whisper of Chains, Whisper of Conduction, Whisper of Durance, and Whisper of Shards. The main reason I did this is because all of those offer extra stat benefits for my character. More resilience, more recovery, more intellect, for example. Those are all things that are going to help you keep your abilities up and keep them propped. So this is a good time to segue over to what armor I'm using. As you can see on my character, I have 100 mobility, 62 resilience, 100 recovery, 83 discipline, 39 intellect, and 71 strength. Really, of course, just for general Crucible playing, you want to have high mobility and high recovery as a hunter always, but try and keep your discipline and strength up as high as you can get it as well, because again, those are what is going to help you keep surplus procced and help you give your weapons all those added benefits. So try and keep those as high as you can, or try and finagle your armor in a certain way that you can get those as high as you can. And for the exotic, really the best one that you can go with for this build is 6 Coyote. And I think you guys probably know why. 6 Coyote gives hunters an extra dodge. So when you have 2 dodges, you have 2 stacks of surplus. So that means that with this build we have 2 dodges, we have 2 melee stacks, and we have a grenade stack. So that is 5 stacks. So you can use any 2 of those and still have 3 full stacks of surplus, giving you all the benefits to your weapons handling. And really that is the whole point of this build, is just keeping your weapons all the way juiced up, all the way ready to just kill, quick swap, follow up, ADS super quick for a quick scope. All those benefits are going to help you do that, as you can see in the gameplay. Just quickly, I'll go over the different mods that I used on my armor. So for my helmet, I have targeting for my sidearm and targeting for the sniper. Those speak for themselves. They just make it easier to snag some shots. And really that almost maxes out your Traveler's Chosen aim assistance. It's at 85, and then with the helmet mod, that gives it another 10, so it's at 95. So it is still worth it to put it on for the Traveler's Chosen. Now for the arms, you might be surprised that we went with the sidearm loader instead of sidearm dexterity. You might be thinking, well, aren't we trying to get as quick a swap as possible for this build? And you'd be right, but when you have 3 stacks of surplus, your sidearm is already at 100, so there's really no added value to using sidearm dexterity. Instead, put on sidearm loader, because that's going to help you chain kills with Traveler's Chosen. It's going to help you reload quicker, and that's super important with Traveler's Chosen because it does have a decent sized mag, but if you're a sidearm user, then you're just ripping shots all the time, and a quick reload can never hurt, especially when you have multiple opponents coming at you. Of course, the other mod we have on the arms is Sniper Rifle Dexterity for the quicker draw speed. And on 6 Coyote, we went with the Unflinching Sidearm mod with High Energy Fire. High Energy Fire is a great perk. It's going to just make it easier to snag kills when you are charged with light, which happens every game basically with Powerful Friends and Radiant Light on the other 2 pieces we're going to look at. I decided not to go with Unflinching Sniper because of the recent nerfs to Sniper Flinch. Really, it's not going to matter. If you're getting shot and you're aiming down sights with a sniper, you will be flinched off the target. It won't matter if you have unflinching sniper on or not. So really, in my opinion, don't even bother with it. For the legs, I did sidearm holster, so it will reload while you're sprinting if you have your sniper out. And as I mentioned, radiant light, which gives you another plus 20 to strength. That is super important. If you don't have this perk, then good news for you, they're gonna unlock all the perks for everyone, making builds easier. So that'll happen soon, but if you do have it, make sure you slap it on. And then lastly, of course, on our cape, I'm sure if you're a veteran, you're already doing this, but we have Powerful Friends, which adds plus 20 to mobility. That just frees up all the other mods. You can put on recovery mods and discipline mods and strength mods, so you don't have to reach that 100 mobility, because 100 mobility is super important for this build because you want to get your dodges back as quick as possible, and those are the abilities that come back quicker than all the other ones. So having 100 mobility is the most important, but with Powerful Friends you will also free you up to put mod slots towards other stats on your character. And I believe that covers everything you need to know to get the snappiest sniper build possible in Destiny 2. Of course, Traveler's Chosen is going to help you in those close quarter confrontations, but you can even rip a quick sniper shot and swap to Traveler's Chosen in the blink of an eye, and that's going to help you possibly get a quick scope or just take your enemy's health down almost to nothing for an easy kill with Travelers. So it really works out great in the sandbox, especially since lately the Crucible has been longer maps this season. But there are still a lot of close quarter maps, and this is really for people that are looking for that aggressive sniping playstyle. You know, as I mentioned before with Beloved, that was kind of the way everyone did it. Of course, we have the flinch nerfs for snipers in this season, and it is really hard to play aggressive, but this build is as good as you can get, and you can really, as long as you're firing first, as long as you got that quick ADS and that quick swap speed, if you shoot first without them flinching, you have a chance to take them out immediately. You have a chance to get that quick scope kill. Anyways, that's it for this build, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.